What's up, everyone? We just got some absolutely wild news that could change everything in the crypto space. I'm talking about the potential return of quantitative easing. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this. Hey there, hope you're crushing it today. Before we dive into this explosive news, let's quickly check where we're at. XRP is sitting around $2.39, just kind of sideways action right now. But here's the thing, something big needs to happen to break us out of this range, and what I'm about to share with you might just be that catalyst. So check this out. Treasury Secretary Yellen just dropped this bombshell statement. America's golden age is underway, and the best is yet to come. Now, when I hear phrases like the best is yet to come, it immediately reminds me of what certain crypto advocates have been saying for years. The golden age, that's what everyone in crypto has been waiting for, right? But let's be real here. In the crypto markets, we definitely haven't hit that golden age yet. I mean, just last week, we witnessed one of the craziest black swan liquidation events we've seen in a while. But here's what's interesting. They still believe good times are coming. And you know what? Maybe we should be optimistic too. That's actually a pretty bullish statement when you think about it. Now here's where things get really spicy, and I think this ties directly into what Yellen was talking about. Justin from Watcher Guru just reported that JP Morgan expects the Federal Reserve to end quantitative tightening next week. Let me break this down for you. They're potentially ending QT, quantitative tightening, which likely means we're about to see the return of QE, quantitative easing. Translation: the money printer is about to go burr again. We're talking about the Fed potentially buying up stocks, bonds, everything. And when that happens, you better believe that money is going to flow into cryptocurrencies too. The crypto community is going absolutely wild over this news. People are saying things like QE is coming, prepare to get rich, and green portfolio time at last. One comment that caught my attention mentioned the trillions of dollars sitting in money market funds that will need somewhere to go if QE restarts. This feels extremely bullish to me. Think about it. The last time we saw massive money printing was after 2020, and we all know what happened to crypto prices after that. We just experienced our own black swan event, and maybe, just maybe, that was the bottom we needed to see before the next leg up. Here's what we're looking at timeline-wise. There's a potential rate cut coming in 6 days at the next Fed meeting. Then we have another FOMC decision in 48 days, followed by another meeting in 97 days. And get this, we're getting a new Fed chair in May. Now, I know some of you were thinking about the 4-year cycle theory, the idea that crypto markets tend to top out every 4 years, and we're right in that time frame. Some people think we should be topping out any minute now, if we haven't already. But here's my take. If we're getting QE and all these monetary policy changes, couldn't this bull market actually extend into 2026? I've been saying this for a while now. I don't think we've topped out yet. Yes, we're definitely in some stormy waters right now, but being in a storm doesn't mean we've reached the peak. There's a big difference there, and I'm about to show you exactly why I believe we haven't topped out yet. Now let me show you exactly why I'm so confident we haven't topped out yet. Check out this chart. This is the UCC that dominates the short side, and it perfectly matches all those bullish tweets we've been seeing. Look at what's happening here. We've got liquidity forming on both sides. You can see it clearly. 1, 2, 3, 4 levels all the way up on the top side. But here's what's really interesting. Look at the lower side. We're seeing liquidity pools forming down there too. This looks like classic consolidation to me. Now, if we follow traditional market structure, this pattern usually suggests we're heading down first. But here's the key insight, and this is why I know cryptocurrencies haven't topped out yet. See all that liquidity sitting down there? The market makers are going to take that liquidity at some point. They always do. It's just how the game works. They'll sweep those lows, grab that liquidity, and then we'll see what happens next. Until I see the market actually sweep down to those lower liquidity levels, we haven't topped out. It's that simple. And this might explain why certain market analysts have been telling us to stay positioned until 2026. Speaking of 2026, let's talk about something fascinating from the XRP community. There's this interesting tweet that says, "After we get filthy rich, we'll reinvest when they dump XRP to a cent. I'll start my own BlackRock." Now here's where it gets really interesting. Remember how Big Short told us to stay in until 2026? Not 2025, not 2027, specifically 2026. He said this a couple of years ago, and when people asked about it, his response was pretty ominous. Someone replied asking about a parabolic crash, and Big Short simply said 2026. Then he added that 2026 is going to be ugly. That sounds like he's predicting 2026 as the crash year, a parabolic one at that. Now, here's how I'm thinking about this. If we pump from here until 2026, and then we see that massive correction, wouldn't that actually be an incredible opportunity? I mean, imagine being able to buy XRP at seriously discounted prices. That would honestly be a blessing in disguise. While everyone else is panicking about the dump, those of us who understand the bigger picture could be loading up for the next cycle. The key is understanding that 2026 might be the topping year, which means we're not there yet. And speaking of explosive news, Ripple just dropped this announcement literally as I'm recording this.
They're excited to welcome Patrick J. Witt from the White House's Digital Assets Council as a keynote speaker at Ripple Swell 2025. Think about that for a second. We're getting direct government participation from the White House. This conversation is happening in New York City, November 4th to 5th, and the deadline to request invitations is tomorrow, October 24th. I completely forgot about Ripple Swell, but this is huge. We could be looking at some major white swan events, positive announcements that nobody sees coming. And get this, JP Morgan will also be attending Ripple Swell this year. Remember what Mr. Poole said on October 24th? He told us to expect an unexpected supernova. Well, we just got news that's literally explosive. The potential return of QE, government officials speaking at crypto conferences, major banks getting involved. Could this be the beginning of that supernova he was talking about? So here's how I see this playing out. The cycle theory for Bitcoin might actually be wrong this time. We're getting hints that the Fed is about to turn extremely bullish. We've got government officials openly participating in crypto events, and the technical analysis suggests we're setting up for another leg higher. 2026 still looks like the topping year, but that means we've got potentially 2 more years of this bull market ahead of us. And if that's the case, we could be looking at price targets that seem absolutely insane from today's perspective. Now, while we're seeing all these bullish developments, I've got to be honest with you. There are some concerning signals we need to talk about. And this one's pretty significant. We just got news that Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen has cashed out again. This guy has reportedly offloaded millions worth of XRP since 2018. And here's the kicker. He often does this right near market tops. Analysts are warning that his latest sell-off could put pressure on XRP's price recovery. Look at this chart. We're seeing this massive spike in realized profits. We're talking about 764 million here. He's been systematically cashing out since around 2018, and this latest move is raising some eyebrows. Why is Larsen selling? So here's the million-dollar question. Why is he selling? There are really only 2 explanations here. Either he desperately needs the money, or he's turning bearish on XRP's short-term prospects. Now, I seriously doubt he needs the money. We're talking about someone who's cashing out around 100 million or so. Nobody needs that much cash just sitting around, unless they're planning something big. I saw some people saying he didn't dump,
that he invested in Evernorth instead. But here's the thing. If you're investing in another company, you don't necessarily need to convert to dollars first. You could invest directly with XRP if you really believed in it long term. So my take? This looks like either he needs liquidity for something major, or he thinks XRP is going to go lower in the near term. Pretty straightforward. Speaking of bearish signals, Mr. Poole dropped another one of his cryptic tweets on October 24th. Just a smiley face. And if you've been following him, you know what that usually means. Dump incoming. You can see those death eyes in the emoji. It's his classic bearish signal. And here's something interesting that just happened yesterday. We got a new emoji activated from the timeline. This time, we're in the October 22nd to November 22nd window. And this one's all about LDN, London. See that pound currency symbol? This ties directly to London and the UK. They've mentioned before that London is very special for certain market players because it all begins over there. Now here's something that's been driving everyone crazy. Someone tweeted, "Man, who would have thought crypto regulations would move slow as molasses?" And the response was interesting. It's almost like we were forewarned. This makes total sense now. We were told that regulations would move very slowly, like a turtle or molasses, heavy and sluggish.
And that's exactly what we've been seeing. Regulations being talked about every other week, but nothing ever actually happening. However, here's where things get exciting. Brian Armstrong from Coinbase just dropped this update. DC may be shut down, but momentum for market structure clarity is at an all-time high. I sat down with Senate Democrats and Republicans who want to get this done. We are 90% there. Did you catch that? 90% there. Both sides are working hard to figure out the final 10%, and we're getting close. It's been moving like a turtle, but it looks like we might actually be approaching the finish line. Now, I've got to say, that last 10% might take forever. It's like the last mile of a marathon, always the hardest part. But we absolutely need these regulations for consumer protection, for people like you and me.
Hey everyone, Brian Armstrong here. I'm back in DC, and even though the government is shut down, the Senate is working hard on getting market structure legislation passed for crypto, which is great to see. I attended some meetings this morning with both the Senate Dems, the Senate Republicans, and I'd say they're 90% on the same page. There's draft text being shared back and forth between both parties. Both sides want to get this done. That last 10%, there's a couple remaining issues open, like, for instance, DeFi. We want to make sure that we're pushing to protect DeFi and all the innovation potential that can have, and that the centralized intermediaries in crypto, like Coinbase, should be regulated, not the protocols. And then, of course,
because without proper regulations, we get situations like what happened just last week with insider trading allegations. It becomes game over for regular investors. And unfortunately, it already has been for many people.
We're making sure to preserve stablecoin rewards for you as well. The big banks are coming for their cash grab, trying to block that, even though it was just recently decided in the Genius Act, which just recently became law. We're not going to let them relitigate that. So with these last few issues getting wrapped up, we're hoping to see this bill come out of committee by Thanksgiving. That would be a great outcome. Fingers crossed. We're going to keep showing up for your rights, and we'll keep you updated. Thanks.
Here's what's weird, though. While everyone's pushing for regulations to protect consumers, some of the same players calling for these protections might need investigating themselves. It's like they're playing both sides of the game. But that's the crypto space for you, always full of contradictions and surprises. You know what? I absolutely love Thursdays, and today especially because all this incredible news is dropping on the same day. Today is Thursday, and check this out. Today's date is 1-2-3. How crazy is that? But wait, it gets even better. Today is also Mr. Poole's anniversary. I mean, what are the odds? How much more aligned could the timing get? And here's something that's blowing my mind. Someone pointed out that today is also a 33 day. Look at this. 1 + 2 = 3, giving us 33. But it might even be deeper than that. We could be looking at 3-3-3-3. Check out this calculation. 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9, and that gives us 5 threes minus 3-3-3-3-3. Today is literally all about the number 3. For those who follow numerology and market patterns, this is absolutely wild. The cryptic message, follow me to the end. Now here's where things get really interesting, and honestly, a little bit mysterious. There was this message that said, follow me to the end of it, dated October 23rd, which is today. The question is, what exactly is the end of it? And when we calculate 9 minus 20, it equals, well, that's what we're supposed to follow him to. I've got to admit, that's a little bit cryptic, maybe even creepy, right? But here's the kicker. When you trace it all back, guess where it leads? XRP. It all comes back to XRP at the end of the video. The end of it all. What's coming next? So let's see what unfolds, because things are definitely getting intense now. We've got potential QE returning, government officials at crypto conferences, co-founders selling bearish signal, cryptic messages and significant dates aligning, all happening on a numerologically significant Thursday.
The convergence of all these factors is absolutely mind-blowing. All right, this is where I need your help. I want to hear your thoughts on everything we've covered today. What do you think about the QE news and its impact on crypto? Chris Larson's selling activity, the regulatory progress at 90%, these numerological coincidences, where you think XRP is heading. Whatever you have to say, drop it in the comments below. Your insights are what make this community amazing, and I read every single comment. We're living through some absolutely wild times in crypto right now. Between the macro policy changes, technical analysis, insider moves, and these crazy synchronicities, there's never been a more exciting time to be involved in this space. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because things are moving fast and you don't want to miss what happens next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.